mug that's on now that's a little more of a medium body. And they have a chocolate porter that's on as well, which is more of a heavy body beer. No lactose added in them, but
that's good.
Ton of malt.
So I had this question before because my girlfriend's allergic to, or she's lactose intolerant. Right? Mm-hmm. She can't deal with any lactose. So I was like, if you put lactose in the beer, is it still the same lactose at the end of the process? Like, so certain, what do they call it? Like, people make these smoothie kind of IPAs and stuff. And I was like, when she sees lactose in it, she's like, I'm not touching it.
Yeah.
And is that valid? I
would recommend she doesn't. I've had customers come in that say they can have a little bit of it because the lactose is kind of, it's not boiled off completely, but what happens is when you add lactose into the beer, you're typically adding it into the whirlpool stage. So once the beer is done or the wort is done boiling, start cooling it down, so you're going to send it into a whirlpool. Usually that's when you add your lactose. So it's still technically boiling temperature. The lactose can get boiled out, but you're still getting that residual sweetness into the beer when it's fermented out. Me personally, anytime somebody says they're lactose intolerant, I'll directly point them away from those beers just because I don't want to have any issues, whether they can or cannot have an allergic reaction.
Right, of course. That's
I'd rather them not try it than try it and then regret it.
Yeah. It's like when I heard somebody was like, "Oh yeah, we get this beer," but when was it that if they have celiac disease, I'm like, well, you can't really have any beer. I mean, they make beers that are not made from grains, and that's what you can have. But if it has grains, you don't boil off, or you can't get rid of the
gluten is always there.
The gluten, it's going to be there regardless.
Yeah. Yep.
So
that's the funny thing too. Is I've had people come in and tell me they're gluten free, can't eat gluten. Can't have anything with gluten, and then they're sitting there having a beer.
It's like,
and I remember talking to a lady one time. She's like, "Well, no, I just don't like gluten." And I'm like, "Okay, but you do because you're drinking a beer."
Yeah.
But I get it. She doesn't like the buns. She just likes to eat the meat.
Right.
She didn't want her burger. She was like, "No, I can't eat the gluten on the burger," which I completely get. She wants to save her calories for the beer, which is the good stuff.
Yeah, it's the good stuff.
Yeah, that
makes a lot of sense. So I wanted to go into. You have this thing they call a hop passport. What is that you do?
It's actually I believe it's countrywide, and there's a company called hoppassport.com, and you can order. Looks like a little passport book, and it's got all the breweries for your state. So if you say I'm from New York, I want a New York hop passport, and they'll send you out the little book. It's like $30, I think, for the book. And it's got every brewery that participates in that book. So some breweries don't participate in it, but there's a lot of them in there that do. And each brewery gets a stamp. So when you come in with your passport, you hand them the book. They stamp your page or their page with the stamp, and you get 50% off your first 2 beers. So
that's cool.
Yeah, if you like traveling around to breweries and you spend $30 on this passport, it's worth it. But if you're not a big, you like going to 1 or 2 breweries, it's probably not worth it for you. But if you love brewery hopping, it's a cool thing to have because you get your first 2 beers, basically buy one, get one free, because you're getting 2 beers for half price.
And you get to stamp your little book and go, I was here.
Yeah, and you can say, I was at this brewery, I was at that brewery. And
the number keeps increasing, though. Like, I think the last time I checked, it was in New York, it was like 177 or something like that, but it's probably more than that.
There's way more than that. There was more than that at Tap New York last year.
Jesus. No. Maybe it was 3 and anyway.
I think last year Tap New York had like 200 and change breweries at it.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and it's probably going to be more this year, and it's alwa't going up.
Well, I do enjoy seeing, like, I feel like your brewery is kind of like it's kind of like the way you think about Cheers. You remember that show Cheers? Yeah. It's like that community spot.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about this place too. It felt very not homely, but it felt very much like you walking into it comfortable, and you walk into a place where, like, hey, it's Los. Hey, what's up, Aaron? Like, it's you can bring your dog here. You guys like open up the doors, and outside you have the whole front. You do cooking marshmallows and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, we have. You can get that any time of year, any time of night. He has like a little s'mores barbecue thing. But a little s'mores kit that he has.
It's a very awesome kind of thing that you get from local breweries that you don't get from like big. Non-mom and pop kind of places.
Correct, yeah.
Like, they could give a crap. They care about the numbers and the people.
Yeah, if they're happy, they're happy.
As long as they're buying.
Yeah. As long as they're buying their product. I want people to come in here and leave. I want people to come in here, have a great time, and leave going, wow, that was really great. I'm going to bring friends next time. To me, it's more about the connection to make with people through the beer, through the experience that you have here. That's why I try to do a lot of cool things. I try to have, I have a buddy of mine that's a DJ. He comes in, we do a 90s versus 2000s DJ dance party.
Oh, that's cool.
We clear all the tables out of here, except for the one we're sitting at right now. This stays here.
It's a beautiful table, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, this is actually my cousin built it. I sanded it and polished it.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's all good. But he sets up right by the main window. He's got a huge 72-inch screen TV on the front of his DJ booth. And we play music from 9 until 1 or 2 in the morning. And people come out, dance, have a great time. In the spring and summer when we do it, we open up the front doors and we have everything roped off out there so you can sit outside and drink your beer and listen to music too.
Nice.
We do comedy shows. We got one coming up in March, so that's going to be a good time. I want to have fun here. I want to keep it fun, keep it light. It's a place to come and relax.
Yeah.
And not worry about stresses of life.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot of them. I think that's the beauty of like this place and small, all small breweries in general. It's like it feels like this home away from home.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I can buy a 6-pack of whatever for this amount of money, but I'd rather go here and spend a little more money and be comfortable in this place around a bunch of other people in this great environment.
Absolutely.
And that's the one thing I really dig about this place. And I give you kudos for a place that's only been open 2 years. You seem like you've been open longer. Yeah, I've been to a lot of breweries, and it's like, I think that being a local, like when I lived in Brooklyn, my local brewery was Coney Island. Mm-hmm. So I would go to Coney Island, and you become a part of like the atmosphere there. Yeah. Like you're one of the locals. And you feel, as the brewery grows, you feel like a part of you or a part of your friendship is growing. Yeah. So it's a cool thing. I really do. Yeah. I dig that.
I try to bring people into what's going on here. I try to show them. That's why my system is completely open. Mm-hmm. Anybody I got that comes in that's a regular, I sit and I talk with them for a few minutes. Obviously, if I'm bouncing around busy doing things, I can't. But I try to spend time with people and build that relationship. And that's even where, like I mentioned, a comedy show. That's where this whole this whole thing came up. Here is I met him. Gene Tariflo is the producer of the shows. I met him through the brewery.
Okay.
Now he doesn't drink. He was just here with friends, and we just kind of one thing that snowballed to another, and now we do every other month. We have a professional comedy show coming in.
And Triflo, that's Triflo, correct?
Yep, Triflo. Yeah, he produces it, and he does a quick little. He opens the show. He's extremely funny. But his comedy is very locally based. This guy, Chris Roach, is from Kevin Can Wait with Kevin James.
Oh, okay.
He's his co-star in that. I've never met Palazzo, so I'm not sure, but he's very funny. I've watched a couple of his videos on YouTube.
So this is going to be Crazy Gene's Night of Comedy, March 14th, and starts at 9 p.m. until 11.
That's it.
$20 per person, 21 over. Drink and food specials available all night. Purchase your tickets at the bar, cash only, or online at www.cousinsales.com. It's cousinsales.com.
Yeah.
I'm going to shoot to have this out in time. So I wanted to try another one of your beers if that was okay. Absolutely. And we'll be right back. Mm-hmm. Do you want to do your part to save the planet, but you just can't figure out how? Instead of using big red cups for your cold drinks and foam for your hot coffee and tea, do your part to save the planet by investing in reusable, personalized stainless steel tumblers by Nivea Glitter Designs. Nivea stainless steel tumblers can keep your cold drinks cold for 18 hours and your hot drinks hot for 12 hours. These incredible containers are double-walled so they don't sweat and you won't be burned. Nivea Glitter Designs will customize your stainless steel tumbler in shiny glitter, wood grain, hand-painted, or you can even get it in fabric. So do your part to make a difference and order your personalized tumbler today. Just go to NiveaGlitterDesigns.com. That's NIVIA glitterdesigns.com. All right, and we're back here at Cousins Ale Works with Aaron Browne. Established 2016, written right on the shirt there.
That's it.
I like that. Give me liberty and give me beer. So I like to end out the last part of my episode, the last beer that we're going to have. What is this one?
So this is a collaboration beer that I do with my buddy's coffee shop called the Ugly Mug Coffee Shop in the city of Poughkeepsie. And this is a coffee stout. Now,
I love coffee.
It's It's a very interesting coffee stout because it's a big, over-the-top, roasted-style coffee bean stout. So the beans are actually dumped directly into the beer once it's done. So I don't cold brew the beer or cold brew the beans and then put them in. I crack them by hand and dump them right into a bag, and that goes right into the fermenter with the beer for a few days.
That sounds pretty labor-intensive.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm very hands-on with the beer.
I see that.
So then I took 50 gallons of that beer, and I aged it in a Taconic Distillery maple bourbon barrel, which had maple syrup. Well, it had bourbon in it for 3 years, then maple syrup in it for 6 months, and then bourbon in it again. And then I got the barrel on a fourth use, and I put beer into it. So it was aged in that for 6 months with Madagascar vanilla beans. So it's got a little...
Ladies and gentlemen, I am making the face of, oh, damn.
But it's not a heavy, heavy beer. It's a very light style beer, body beer-wise, or body-wise.
What's the ABV on this?
It's actually only 7%.
Oh, that's enough.
I mean, it's still there. The presence of alcohol is there, and you'll get the bourbon note. But it's so well balanced and blended because of the Madagascar beans and the vanilla beans.
This has a lot of legs on it, though, for only a 7% beer. What I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, when I say legs, is when you take your glass, you tilt it to the left or right, and it's like you'll see like a kind of the alcohol run down the side of the glass. All right, so I like to end it off the last beer with a toast. So I'm just old school like that. I enjoy saying a nice old toast.
Yeah.
So here's to those who wish us well, and all the rest can go to hell. Prost.
Prost.
Oh man, I'm not saying this just because you're here, because I drank too much True Serum.
Yeah.
Already. This is nice.
I appreciate it.
I enjoy this. I love coffee. Like, really, really, like, I have a problem.
No, I'm 3 or 4 cups in before I even get up in the morning.
For real.
I get out of my bed and I'm already making coffee. Mm-hmm. And I crack my own beans. I do the whole thing. So I stopped cracking beans because it's messy.
I really got into, what's it called? Sumatran coffee. This bodega in Long Island City, the guy was like, made this coffee when I was at work, and I drank it. I was like, this tastes different than all the other coffee. Says everybody's used Colombian. This is Sumatran. I was like, really? Mind you, it's only like $2 for a cup, a big cup.
Yeah.
This coffee had me feeling like freaking Beavis. I'm like, dan. I was fucking fired up. I was, holy shit. So I was like, this coffee is amazing. And then I found it online, and I would order it and get Sumatran coffee. It's Sumatran, I guess it's from Vietnamese or something like that. Yeah. But it's so yummy. It's this is not the best description, right? But
right.
It's
we've had a couple beers now.
Yeah, it's high in caffeine. That's the long and short of it.
I was always into coffee. I always loved coffee. I was a Dunkin' Donuts guy for a long time. So I went over to my buddy Walter's house, and he's Puerto Rican, and I was like, we were going to go mountain biking. He's like, you want a cup of coffee? And I'm like, yeah. And I didn't realize at the time that him for making a cup of coffee is not a quick little process. He has his own little press. He presses the coffee. It drips out. We were there for an extra hour while he made a cup of coffee for each of us. This stuff was so strong that, after I drank it, my whole hand, my body, everything was shaking. And from that point on, I was like, I need good coffee from now on. So,
you've been ruined.
Yeah, no, it completely ruined me for, just getting Dunkin' Donuts. Now, I still do that on a rush if I'm, on the road. But when I'm home, I'm addicted to Black Rifle coffee.
That's why Dunkin' Donuts started doing that the turbo. This extra shot or whatever.
Oh, okay.
That's why they started doing it, because for people like you and I that are into espresso coffees.
Yeah, no, I want to taste the flavor of the coffee.
So you don't add anything. You're a naturalist.
I'll drink it straight, but I do like a little cream, a little sugar in it.
Yeah, that's me. I like cream and sugar. Yeah. I do hazelnut stuff. Okay. I'll add the foo stuff from time to time.
Yeah, if I'm out, I will.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that, but if I could drink coffee black, if I have to, in a clutch. But I just when I wake up, it's that's my one vice. Okay, I could probably go without beer for a little while, but coffee, I feel like I'd suffer a week without it.
I get up in the morning, the very first thing I think of, as soon as I wake up, my dog's laying next to me, I give him a hug and a kiss. I'm all right, I'm going to make coffee. I get up, right downstairs, I make my coffee. I go upstairs as I'm cleaning up, getting ready for my day. Coffee's done. I go down and pour my first cup of